Today in chat in the box we have Chris Bach from Quark Expeditions here with us. Hi Chris, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm in a warm space here, but I presume you're a little bit cold over there.
I'm a bit cold. I turned down the heating to Arctic conditions just to get into the mood.
Great, Chris. Chris, we here on the Cruizy, we had some weeks ago the Quark special, but still tell us something about Quark Expeditions.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, first of all, thanks so much for giving me the opportunity and let me tell all of you a little bit more about Quark. So Quark Expeditions actually has been founded this year 30 years ago. So it's our 30 years anniversary. Yeah, we in 1991 operated actually the first North Pole expedition as a commercial company. So yeah, we've been always the pioneers in polar expeditions. And until today, we really only offer the polar regions. So we're very specialized. We don't go into warm water destinations, but we really focus on the Arctic. So we take expeditions to Spitsbergen, to Greenland, the Northwest Passage, the Russian Arctic, new for 2021. And the geographical North Pole. So like I said, it was our very first journey 30 years ago. And until today, we still take 2 expeditions every year to the North Pole. And then obviously we also go to into Antarctic waters. So we travel to the Antarctic Peninsula, South Georgia, Falklands, and then new for the upcoming winter, we also will travel to Cape Horn, Diego Ramirez, and we'll do an expedition through the Chilean fjords, so the Patagonia region. So when we operate our expeditions, we really focus on the experience. We want to make sure that our traveler and your customers spend as much time as possible off the ship. While we have beautiful ships, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later, we really want to make sure that we provide a real expedition and spend a lot of time on excursions. We try to get off the ship when we are in destination at least twice a day. Excursions are included, operated, and information provided by our excellent guides. And yeah, we spend, hopefully the weather permitting, anywhere from 1.5 hours to 3.5 hours each time on land, on our Zodiacs, to really explore the destinations and yeah, get as close as we possibly safely can do for our travelers and the environment, obviously. I already talked a little bit about our guides. So I always say the biggest and most important unique selling point for Quark Expeditions is or are our guides and our expedition team. So we have on average 1 guide for at least every 7 customers. So a very personalized service. Our guides have anywhere from a few to 30 years of experience, an average of 10 years. For our newer guides or guides who are new to Quark, we operate a Quark Academy. So each of our staff has to go through this program to really, make sure they know how to safely operate Zodiacs, that they really know the conditions and all the tricks that it takes to operate a successful and immersing polar expedition cruise. And so our guides that are on board, they come from all different countries, the same as our travelers. They come with all sorts of really amazing knowledge. So we always have a historian on board who can really tell about the history of the early explorers and, who made it even possible for us now to go and operate these amazing expeditions. We have biologists on board. They are specialized in mammals, that are specialized in marine biology. We have a geologist on board, or sometimes the same person is also the glaciologist. So they tell us a little bit about, what rocks and ice and different types of icebergs we can encounter. They're often also climatologists and kind of tell us a little bit more about, what's going on and what's happening to the world at the moment. And of course, we have an ontologist on board. So for people who are really into birds, they will really get their money's worth when they come on our trips, because they're amazing species of birds in both polar regions. And then
an important role to execute all those lovely expeditions is, of course, your new ship, the Ultramarine. Tell us something about the Ultramarine.
Yeah, so traditionally we've always hired or chartered our own ships and then put our own expedition crew on board to own the experience. But for the first time in 30 years of expedition cruising, we are in the final steps of building our very own expedition ship, which is called the Ultramarine. The Ultramarine will have her maiden voyage, so inaugural voyage, in Spitsbergen in May this year. So we're about to take over the keys, if the ship had keys. And she is, all of our ships are small, between 130 and 199 passengers. So the capacity of the Ultramarine is 199 passengers. And what's really, really excited about her, she's going to be very luxury, very comfortable. So, customers that like to be a bit pampered on those expeditions really definitely get the experience they want. But at the same time, she's really built purposely to operate trips in the polar region. So we've made no compromises for warm water destinations. And so the two most exciting things from expedition cruising point of view is that she will have 2 helicopters, twin engine helicopters, which allow us to carry up to 9 customers at the same time, and will allow us to obviously see the polar regions from a completely different angle. All of our excursions, where it's permitted by local regulations, will have a heli flight scene included in the trip. So that's new and unique and very exciting. And it will allow us to offer some optional exciting activities as well, such as exclusive heli landings and heli hikes and heli walks. So that's really exciting. The other thing is it will have fast deployed Zodiac decks. So that's very technical.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to explain them what that means, but the result of it is that we can get people or our customers much faster on and off the ship, which allows us to spend more time on land and even squeeze in spontaneous excursions if we see something really exciting, like a polar bear or walrus colony or so, especially in the Arctic.
Well, that's important, of course, as you have two landings per day, so that you can do that in a very quickly way, of course.
Yeah. Nobody likes waiting around.
That's true.
Yeah. And so that's really exciting. It also has a lot of adventure options on board. So the skiing, the mountain biking, camping in both destinations. So yeah, it's just really perfect for expedition cruising. When it comes to the onboard ship experience, we have all the cabins or all the suites are suites. They either have balconies or panorama window, because the whole concept of the ship is that we want to be connected at all times with the outside world, with the polar region. So large windows and direct connectivity, if you're inside, still with the outside, is really important. So when it comes to the cabin categories, we have cabins for solo travelers, so dedicated single cabins, which is great. We have standard cabins that are triple cabins and Explorer suites. They're all with large windows. And on the Explorer suites and triples, we allow shared cabin occupancy. So if you come as a single traveler and you don't like to pay the extra, you can go and share with a person of the same gender. And then we have lots and lots of suites as well, like standard balcony suites, 26 square meters, so very spacious. Larger suites, balconies, penthouse, terrace suites. And then we have also the top categories, which are the Ultra Suite and the Owner Suite. And they have even their own in-cabin or in-suite dining area. And they have a separate powder room and a dressing space where you don't have to look at your clothes and your your stuff, your gear. And then in the general amenities, we do have a ready room on board. So the gear, the jacket that I'm wearing and your boots, you don't have to actually have to carry it into your cabin. You can leave it there. We have 2 restaurants on board. And again, the concept is that you have a view from every seat. So no matter where you sit, we have 5 bars scattered around to make sure that everybody's hydrated at all times. We have a large panorama lounge with big windows for after dinner activities and reading and relaxing and having a beverage. A lecture theater for our presentations I was referring to earlier. It has a little gym on board, a meditation room and a yoga room where we offer some of the activities on selected departures. A library with an extensive collection of books about the polar regions, and a spa and a sauna. So the time that we have, and on sea days, there's lots and lots of things to do and lots of pretty places to
that's true.
climb on.
And talking about the parka that you wear, after the cruise, people can take their parka at home.
Yes. So this lovely parka.
Yes. Yep.
Everybody gets one. So at the time of booking, just tell us what you think your size is. And then we have a parka ready for you. If it doesn't fit, we always have spare. And then you can take it home as a souvenir. And if it's really snowing, like it is in Munich right now, it comes in quite handy, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
And the boots we provide. So you can't take those home, but you have them during the excursion. They're really comfortable. They're really sturdy. They're really good for the environment that we travel to.
All right. So, Chris, tell us or share with us some of the shortly the routings that are planned for 21 and 22.
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, we all ready to start the season in May with the Ultramarine. So, like I said, she's being finished as we speak. She's nicely floating. The engines are working, and so the first couple of months. May and June this summer, she's due to travel around Spitsbergen on itineraries between 7 and 14 days. Spitsbergen is obviously great for wildlife, polar bears, walruses, lots and lots of birds, a really good marine wildlife as well, whales. If you're lucky, you see some belugas, cross your fingers. And then in July, and early August, she then travels over to Greenland with a couple of different itineraries, and one we're really excited about it, which is the Greenland Adventure. The Greenland Adventure is a new itinerary for Quark Expeditions, and we did develop it with the Greenland Tourism Board to really promote tourism in southern Greenland. It's going to be a little bit more of an active trip, but with all of our trips, we always cater to any ability as well. So we offer different groups and different activities. But the highlights are that an ice sheet walk on the Greenland ice sheet will be included. We go there with the helicopters. We included kayaking and inflatable kayaks. You don't have to have experience of it. And lots of walking and hiking opportunities through southern Greenland. And then the end of the season, so late August and September, the vessel will spend around the Canadian Arctic with a different, with a variety of itineraries that are anywhere from 9 to 21 days. And we go to parts of the Northwest Passage. We go to Axel Heilberg Island, Hazelmere Island, around Baffin Bay and Baffin Island. So really diverse part of the Arctic as well. After September, she will make her way slowly but surely down to the southern part of the world, because we always travel where the summer is, right? Yes. So our summer in the Arctic and the Southern Hemisphere summer in Antarctica. And so the season in Antarctica starts at the end of October and goes out throughout May. And within that season, we will have definitely our standard classic Antarctic Explorer trip, which is 11 days, where we travel to the Antarctic Peninsula, really to see penguins, seals, whales, icebergs and glaciers. And but then we also have longer trips where We will go also just to South Georgia to see the king penguins and the elephant seals. And some of them will also include, in addition to the Arctic Peninsula and South Georgia, the Falkland Islands for more penguins, but also a lot of history, obviously. And then we have a couple of itineraries that also will cross the Antarctic Circle. So if you have the desire to go as far south as possible, we have that as part of our program as well. We have 2 new departures for 2021-22 that will include, in addition to the Antarctic Peninsula, also places like Cape Horn and Diego Ramirez, very rarely visited, so it's very unique itinerary. And then also brand new for May 2022, we will have a trip that will travel through the Chilean fjords, the Patagonia area, where we also will go to Cape Horn, but also will visit highlights such as Torres del Paine National Park, for instance, as well. So that's kind of what the ship will do in a nutshell. And
okay, great to hear. Well, it was a very dynamic overview of the possibilities and of Quark Expeditions. I thank you very much, Chris, to be with us, and hope to see and to hear you soon again.
Thank you again, and contact us anytime if you have any questions.